Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to 5 things that we learned from Chelsea 0, Brentford 2. First things first, guys, make sure you smash the likes and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. And as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm always interested to see what you guys think. And let's dive into the video then. As I said, obviously another home defeat, 1 win in 13 now. At the Bridge in the Premier League, and that was against newly promoted Luton, who, with the greatest respect, most teams are going to be beating this season. And that takes me to my first point. What has happened to Stamford Bridge? Forget Stamford Bridge, as Lewis said yesterday. It's more like Stamford Brothel now. Everyone scores, everyone wins. I don't know what's happened. It wasn't that long ago that, we were 86 or whatever it was games unbeaten at home in the Premier League. Now we're lucky if we win one. Teams come here, it's easy for them. They know exactly what the blueprint is to beat us in general, but particularly at home. They know that we're going to start fast. We're going to make a few chances. We're going to miss them. And if you just sit in tight and you hold on and you keep yourself in the game, we'll make a defensive mistake, an individual error, a lapse of concentration. You'll get a goal, and then all you've got to do is sit deep, get 10 men behind the ball, and we simply can't break it down. So, yeah, I don't know what the answer is to this home form. I mean, I'm really not sure. Yes, the fans have got to improve. The home support at Stamford Bridge, I've got to be brutally honest, and I go to a lot of games, it's poor. In the big games, it's great. In the games against the lesser teams, it's not good. And I think that bad atmosphere, not great support, that transmits onto the pitch. And I'm not blaming that solely for the fact that we can't score or we're playing shit at home, but that's definitely a factor, and that 100% needs to improve. But I don't know what the answer is to improving our home form, because is it a lack of quality? Yes, perhaps it is a lack of quality in certain areas. Is it a lack of moving the ball quickly? Is it poor tactics? There's all these things combined, but the home form is absolutely dreadful. And if you can't win your home games, then you're fucked. You're in big trouble. So, yeah, I don't know what the answer is, but that is the first takeaway for me, is that the home form now has been a worry for the last sort of 3 or 4 years, in my opinion. And it doesn't look like it's going to get any better anytime soon. That's the biggest worry for me, is that when's this home form going to improve? Because there's no signs of any improvement at all. We've won 1 game at home this season in the Premier League. Obviously, we beat Wimbledon and Brighton in the Carabao Cup at home. But yeah, look, it's not a happy place for us at the moment. It's not a good place for us to be playing our football. We've got no idea really how to win these home games. And it must be a big problem for Poch. Brentford now have won their last 3 Premier League games at Stamford Bridge, beat us 4-1 under Tuchel, beat us under Lampard 2-0 last time out in April, and now they've beaten us again 2-0. As I said, 1 win in the last 13. We've lost to Brentford, Villa, and Forest at home now without even scoring a goal this season. Far too many draws and only 2 clean sheets at home in that time as well. Of course, the attack's misfiring, we know that. But yeah, the fans have got a part to play. But yeah, this is horror, absolute horror. Stamford Bridge is not a happy hunting ground. We've got City there next. Yes, it's a better side. We normally do a bit better against better teams, but yeah, it's not a happy hunting ground. I don't hold out much hope of us picking up too many more wins at the Bridge. That needs to change quickly. It needs to change fast, but I don't have the answers as to how that changes. So, yeah, it could be in for another disappointing season, particularly with our home form. The second thing I want to move on to, is Pochettino can't break down low blocks. And this is not just a him problem, but, it has been a theme that's been synonymous with his time at Spurs and with his time at PSG as well. And we're seeing it again at Chelsea. Now, I want to caveat this by saying that this is not just a him problem. We've had a low block issue for sort of 4 or 5 years now under various different managers. We can't break teams down. And, I don't understand. I'm not sure how we solve this. Yes, you could say that, we need a centre forward, and not one that's going to be good in a few years, one that's good right now. And it's going to make a difference. It's going to tuck some of the chances away that we score. Yes, we might win a few more games, 100%. But would an Ivan Toney or a Victor Osimhen, would they have helped us win that game yesterday and break down a low block? I'm not too sure. Yes, if you put Toney or Osimhen on that Cucurella chance, yeah, sure, it may well be a goal. But what I'm saying is, in the grand scheme of things, does that make a huge difference to us breaking down low blocks? Is that all that's missing from us being able to break down a low block? Is a goal scoring centre forward? Yes, I know it's fine margins, but we've had goal scoring centre forwards before, and low blocks have still been a massive issue. And another worry for me with Poch as well, saying he's not worried because we played well against Arsenal and Liverpool, so he's not concerned. I'm like thinking, well, hang on a second, mate. You know, we don't play those teams every week. You're going to play more teams that play a low block than come out and play against you. And you're saying you're not worried when we haven't been able to beat Villa, Forest, or Brentford at home, let alone score in any of those games. But he's coming out and saying he's not worried by the fact that we can't break down a low block. That's a bit of a red flag for me. You know, surely he sees that. Maybe publicly he's saying that, but privately he's saying something else. We've got to hope that's the case. But that's a major concern. If he's not admitting the issue or can't see the issue, that is a big problem in itself. But we have to find a solution to this. You know, we've got to wait until January till we can bring a centre forward in. So between now and January, we have to find a way to break low block teams down. We're going to have that problem against Everton. We're going to have that problem in a number of fixtures between now and January. Wolves away as well. You know, we're going to have this issue, and we're going to keep having it. You know, so we have to find a way to solve it. And the onus is now on Pochettino to find a way to solve it. Is it a lack of quality? Probably, yes. You could say that. Is it a lack of urgency in the game? Yes. You know, we're just passing sideways, passing backwards, not moving the ball quickly, allowing the opposition to get back into their defensive shape. No cutting edge. You know, poor delivery into the box. You know, these are all things that massively need to improve. But the fact that we can't break down low blocks is a huge concern, and that there are a lot of problems at Chelsea right now. But what I would say is that I've caveat that with context. Again, I'm not saying this is good enough and it's acceptable to be losing to the teams that we've lost to this season. But football fans do this thing where they just don't apply any context to any situations. And I want to make it clear again, I'm not advocating that this start is okay. But let me just provide a bit of context and just throw this out here, and you guys can let me know what you think. First things first, we haven't had a single match this season with our quote-unquote strongest ideal starting 11. Couple of points I want to make. You know, we've spent big money on players, yes, but we've spent big money on players that aren't at their best now, and time is needed. So that's the first thing to say. If we're going to refer to sort of an Arsenal type situation here, then Arsenal have had more time to develop their squad despite the injuries. And it seems to me, I'm not making an excuse, but injuries seem to impact Chelsea more than any other Premier League team in terms of the number of injuries. And again, it's clear this is a multi-year plan. It's a multi-year plan, but losing is not nice. It's not acceptable. And, you know, we have the right to be criticised for the money we've spent. But everyone knows it's a long-term project. So this is what I don't understand. Why everyone gets up in arms and saying, oh, the owners are shit. We've done shit signings. We've done shit this, shit that. We all knew it was a long-term project. We all knew there were going to be bumps in the road. I'm not saying we have to accept it, but we all knew this. So why are we then acting surprised when it's shit? You know, a few of these players, if any of the players signed, are finished products right now. And the reality of the situation is, people, this side probably needs 12 to 18 months before it starts to peak. And people will not like to hear that, but that is the reality of the situation, guys. And whether you disagree with me or agree with me, whatever it is, that is the reality. If you want to accept that or not, that's entirely up to you. And I'm not saying we have to accept shit results and we can't demand more and we should be doing better. We absolutely, but this is a long-term project. You know, none of the players signed have finished articles right now. And, you know, if you can't see that or you don't want to admit that, then unfortunately that's on you as an individual fan. But it brings me on to my next point is I think we need to cut Nicolas Jackson a little bit of slack. He was poor yesterday, absolutely. And, you know, myself, like many others, I spent the summer kind of advocating that we needed to sign a proven goal scorer at a proven number one. And we didn't get it. And look, football's fine margins, but I do fully believe that the difference for us this season between being where we are now, which is bottom half, and where we should actually be in the league, is a goal-scoring forward, an out-and-out world-class centre-forward. And we would have a lot more points than we currently do on the board right now. But we don't have that. Football's fine margins. We don't have it. It's not an excuse, but we got to make do until January at the earliest and try and find a way to resolve it. But if you go back to, you know, when the tweets, when the reports came out from, you know, Ornstein, Fabrizio, etc., saying, you know, the Jackson deal was all done to Chelsea, no one was saying he was going to be a starter. You know, and suddenly, you know, yes, we got carried away with his preseason form, but in a preseason games, you know, no, there's no tactical game plan, etc. And then suddenly people are thinking, oh, he's meant to be a starter. Jackson was never bought in to be a starter. So this is why I cut him a bit of slack, because this guy's been bought in, 22 years of age, not played a lot of football in his career. He's raw. He's got good qualities, but no way is he ready to be a number one striker for Chelsea and leading the line. He's a rotation option at best at this point in time, but he's having to lead the line for us because we didn't bring a proven forward in, and then people are surprised that this kid isn't really doing that well. Look, he could come good, absolutely, but right now he's not the answer. He is not the answer to leading the line and getting the goals that we need, and we need to hope that something can change between now and January, and he can find the back of the net a few times. And look, there wasn't a huge amount of proven strikers available, but I'm pretty sure we probably could have got someone in, and we absolutely should have. Now, look, Jackson will get opportunities, and he deserves opportunities, and he's been here 3 months, so it's too early to write him off in the long term and say, oh, do you know what, he's no good. But the fact of the matter is, people, is that he's not it right now. He needs time, he needs development, and he needs to be a rotation option, play in the cup, get minutes here and there in the league, start a few league games. That's the reality of the situation, people. So Jackson's not good enough to lead the line for us right now, but he was never meant to be in this position in the first place. He shouldn't have been leading the line for Chelsea. It's that clear. Yes, he's got to improve, and yes, he was poor yesterday, but are we really surprised that Jackson's not really doing the business when he was never signed to be the first choice number 9 in the first place? So he should be cut a little bit of slack, despite the fact that he should be doing a lot better, but we shouldn't be surprised that he's not doing well, because he's not ready to lead the line for us at this point in time. I wanted to touch on Cole Palmer again. The only plus, that's my next point. The only plus, Cole Palmer. £42.5 million looking like an absolute snip. He doesn't lack in confidence at all. He shows it when he grabs the ball off Sterling against Arsenal for the pen. We've been through that. And he was everywhere yesterday and involved in everything good that we did in that first half. He's knitted play together. He was conducting the play. He was the orchestra. He put in the cross, which Cucurella unfortunately couldn't convert, and he put the cross in as well for the penalty shout when Sterling got a shove in the back, which I think should have been a pen. He didn't get a lot of opportunities at City because he was down the pecking order, and it's no slight on him as a player to be down the pecking order at City. But now he's being given opportunities at Chelsea. He's one of the faces of the new project, and he's absolutely showing what he can do. Yes, as I referenced, we still need a goal scorer, but you can now see that the reasons we splashed out on Palmer are very, very obvious. And this kid's going from strength to strength, and I can't wait to see more of his ability on the pitch in the games to come. And my final point is, and I know this is kind of obvious, why are we still switching off all the fucking time? Lapses of concentration all the time. Why can we just not stay focused for a whole game? We've had it so many times. We had Gusto at the back stick against Arsenal. Disassi and fucking Madueke at the back stick for that Pinnock header yesterday. Absolutely shambolic, embarrassing defending. Disassi was brought in for his height yesterday, and he just stood there along with Madueke, who didn't track back, and they just let Pinnock have a free header. Why are we continuously making sloppy mistakes, individual mistakes? Sanchez against Arsenal, Disassi and Madueke here, Gusto against Arsenal as well. Sloppy individual errors. There's an individual error for the goal against Forest as well. Individual error for the Watkins goal in the Villa game. So many games this season we've lost because individual players are not staying switched on and are not concentrating and are not alert to the danger around them. So, yeah, look, that's something that has to improve. That has to be stamped out. Players have got to concentrate for the full amount of time, because all these sloppy mistakes that individuals are making are absolutely costing us big time. But yeah, guys, that's just my five takeaways from the Chelsea game against Brentford yesterday. Disappointing defeat. As always, make sure you smash a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. And I'll catch you again in another video soon. Take care, and up the Chelsea, people.